4:15. It is July 20th. It's Thursday. I hope everyone's feeling well. Let me show you the disclosure because that's part of the drill. And then we'll get to today's recap and look ahead. So my name is Scott Redler. I am the Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap and look ahead. This is being deemed as one of the biggest tech sell-offs since, I don't know, last week now, since I think March or so, which is March, April, May, June, 5 months. There were definitely some clues to look at yesterday, and it all depends on how active you are. It all depends on, how you manage your tier system or what setups you look at. I can only try and help. Days like today, are not easy at times, but I have a feeling that most people in the Alpha team or even, Redler All Access hopefully took today in stride. Listen, if you got Cajonis to the wall short, even better. I came in short the Qs. I sold Q calls yesterday and SPY calls, which helped, but I also had a lot of leftover option positions that I've sold into strength. But, if you're in an active sequence for multiple weeks and multiple months, on a day like today, it definitely costs you a little bit of money to do the unwind. I tried to unwind a little bit yesterday. I unwinded more today. So now we'll be flexible to see what does this lead to. When volatility hits, or things start to bend, it's better to be out of the way versus in the way, in my humble opinion. So anyway, if you look at the Qs, there wasn't really that much you could have seen here, except for the fact that we were still very extended from the 8th day. It seemed like the Microsoft AI news was kind of sold. Meta was acting weird. Tesla was like, had a huge move into the numbers. So did Netflix. And Apple came out with that news midday, and it failed to, really sustain the level. So I came out yesterday midday. I'm like, hey, guys, I wouldn't be so surprised if 387.98 is your summer top. Tweeted out on Redler All Access somewhere around 12:30-ish. And then I did the same thing in the public Twitter. I wasn't at my desk, so I couldn't put it in the Alpha team, but everyone in the Alpha team kind of knows, when I'm getting stopped out of positions and you see me short the Qs and the spiders in some capacity, I'm a little, weary on what could be happening. Sometimes it lasts for a day or two. Sometimes it could be a multiple day, week down move. You never know. Bottom line is today we opened below 384.30. I said, as long as we stay below 384.30, they can keep the pressure on, and then it stayed below, so that was a way to sell. A lot of things did go red to green, so if you were stuck in too much size, hopefully you adjusted. And then we came to the 8th day, couldn't hold it, and now we're right at the gap from whatever this is, from July 13th. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. We have the low today is what, 375.75. This is actually this print. So let's go to 375.75. We'll see what happens. Best setup tomorrow would be to be down like 20 handles in the S&P, and then maybe you get a little bit of a reflex trade to go right to green, make some money, cover some shorts, or whatever it is that you're doing. But ultimately, this accelerated trend broke. Here was your prior breakout. This needs to hold if we're going to stabilize and be any good moving forward. If this doesn't hold, chances are we can see lower prices. Here's another gap right there. SPY itself isn't even at the 8th day. SPY gave you a doji yesterday. Remember my little doji close? I was like, 454.11 is your key. Can it hold it or not? No audio? Hold on. Test, test, test. Hold on. Can you guys hear me now? Test. Hello, hello. Test audio, test audio. Can you hear the audio? Okay, so what I'm doing, by the way, is I'm doing the recap for Redler All Access. I figured why not put the chart in the Alpha team also, because when you get to inflection points, everyone gets a little stressed out. So might as well give everyone as much as I can since I'm here. So with that said, a little doji broke below it, and then the 8th day is right here. The 8th day is not to 450. So although today felt kind of crazy for those who were trapped in stock, which we weren't. If anything, I sold premium. I wasn't long the SPYs or the Qs once today. I didn't even try and play a Q bounce because on days like today, I'd rather not get chopped up trying to do both ways. I'd rather just let some of the air and fluff come out and then figure out what's next with new points of reference. That's just my style. So now this is 450, and then this 445, which is 5 points below that, is probably the same spot as 372-ish, for tech. So that's how much weaker tech was. Tech was that much stronger. Today, tech was that much weaker. So I'm going to put this out of the way so I could save it. I like to have a few of these for the morning when I wake up at 4:30 in the morning and I see what's happening, so I could give a quick little flavor in the morning and before I start posting 20, 30, 40 charts like normal. So we'll see. Tesla, Netflix, tried a 5-minute low, 15, 30, 60. They made new lows all day. That's why you don't just sit and catch a falling knife. So here's the SPYs. Let's have no language there. Do I think 456.43 is the high of the year? I'm not making another call. Sorry. I made one yesterday. I got enough shit for that. I'm glad that we weren't up 44 points in the Qs and down. But again, if I'm going to think it, I'm going to say it. I don't care if I'm wrong. Because if I'm wrong, I don't get louder. I just admit it and I move on. We're traders. We adjust. What did the IWMs do today? Broke below prior low. Still above the 8-day. It's been a big move. So as harsh as today felt, for those who had too much risk on. Today wasn't harsh for me, by the way. I made money in my active account, my swing account, and my options account. I lost pretty much what I made yesterday. So it's, and after making a lot of money during these active sequences since we've had since March, it costs, I'm not just day trading, it costs me money to unwind positions sometimes. I did mention that this level 196 to 199 would be a resistance zone. Well, it did get to 197.66, broke below here, so now there's your 8-day. Let's get this out of the way so I can write a new thing tomorrow, but have the levels, so might as well. This actually isn't even a level here. What's this? 194.26. I want my. You guys remember the song? Money for nothing, chicks for free. Is that what they're saying? I don't remember. Anyway, it's 80s rock. Yes, I like to listen to a little 80s rock while I'm busting through some charts. Keeps me busy. Better than silence. And then the banks. The banks are really strong today. So on Monday or last week, if I don't remember, I think maybe Thursday, I bought Bank of America options. I added to them on Monday. Home run. Bank of America hit a high of 31.80. I think the options we were buying were like 18 cents, 13 cents. They went as high as 90 cents today, and I'm still in the stock, and I'm still in some options. This was way back when, saying you could play catch up, get to the 200-day. It didn't even pause at the 200-day, went above it. So chances are there's room higher. Morgan Stanley led the way. Look at that downtrend line it broke, and now it's still moving up. Goldman Sachs yesterday, we talked about could it go red to green. Not only did it go red to green, went right to green, and then today, look at that, held right there, and then went again. I didn't really focus on just the banks. I was just getting out of the way of the names that made me a lot of money in the past 3-4 months, and I just bought a dip in Bank of America. Took the lazy approach, which was fine still. On run, I'll take a look at that, but not yet. So let's go to the names we know. So I did have Apple. I was in it. I had options while I was trying to rebuild, thinking maybe it makes a new move to all-time highs. So that's what it did yesterday. I was buying it in here. I bought options in here also. Sold half my options into that move, made like a 2x, still in them. Sold most of my stock into that. And then today, when I thought tech could be vulnerable, I got out when it went green. It went up a little bit. I'm like, listen, let me just get out of the way. I want to salvage and keep my money when things feel weird or iffy or vulnerable. I don't need to sit there and debate what's going to happen next when things don't feel special. As an active trader that trades for a living, you're only in things that feel special, that you're ready to feel like you're going to miss out on. I wasn't feeling like I was going to miss out on anything when things were starting to get vulnerable and pressured and momentum was leaving. So anyway, you look now at Apple, okay, to me, this looks a little vulnerable right here. Now, like this is 192.60. Okay, went through 194.37, hit 198, and then matched yesterday. So it's not acting. It didn't act special today. It tried. It didn't. To me, this looks like Microsoft from yesterday. Microsoft actually gave you the same kind of push through, faded, kind of held where it had to. Like if Microsoft breaks this 351.50, chances are tech's going to be vulnerable, and it broke it. And now here's a spot. If it got there in the morning, it could be a good trade. Just a good scalp. Doesn't mean it's a hold. We'll see what happens. If we're up 20 handles tomorrow, people are probably going to short versus buy. Right, 351.52 super important. It broke it. 345.38. So this is a spot. Hey, if you sold into strength or sold when it broke here, tomorrow you'll have a chance to buy this if it gets there or if it reclaims this low. So if you go back to Apple now, Apple, this level, 192.60, looks exactly like that level I just showed you in Microsoft, that if it doesn't hold, it's going to bring tech in, and then all of a sudden you're going to see a move towards 189, and that would be something to potentially buy because that's a 21-day. Tesla, we talked about, could have put a low in the first 5, 15, 30 minutes. It tried it a few levels and just sliced them. I did lose on my lotto spread, which I'm fine with. I told you I was at 100% max out on this spread, and then instead of sitting in it so it can go to zero, I'm like, you know what? Let me take that off. I made 100%, and let me risk $2-3 grand on a lotto spread in case it was a blockbuster report, which it wasn't. So PS, you have now a gap down. That gap's there. It's basically going to stare in the face of all traders, saying, hey, it's vulnerable now. You have a low here of what, 261.20, and now it's in price discovery range. It could be up $4 tomorrow, but to buy it for it to be up a little bit because it was down a lot today, I'll just wait. I'd rather be able to buy it down, move, and then maybe if it were to reclaim 261.20. Here's your two levels, 250, and here's your gap of 240, and there's your 50-day. So right now, momentum was lost, right? Lost, broke. Didn't open up down 12 and close down 6. It opened down 12 and closed down 28. That's why tech was weak. That's why we're watching it. So now we'll see what's next. Netflix, the same thing. Big gap. Didn't hold 456. Didn't even hold right here. The 21-day. It already got down to this. Big gap now. That gap, and we'll see how long this hole stays in the stock. If all of a sudden we do a few inside days and fill that gap, okay, tech's not so bad. If we hang here in like the lower end of this range and do like an HL setup, tech, it's Netflix that let us up, could say, hey, there's more downside. Maybe it needs to see the 50-day. So again, market discovery. Meta broke this upper area, broke below a prior low. That could have been your out if you were long it. It broke the 8-day, the 21 days all the way down here. Doesn't report till next Wednesday. Flapping in the wind. Everything else is also flapping in the wind, so why just be in that? Some guys might be shorted. I'm just out of the way. What's this low here? This low is 302.25. Couldn't hold 307.36. Couldn't hold this prior low, and now this is your new area. Google, I got stopped out yesterday, thank goodness. Right back down. High, lower high. Little red dog, another red dog reversal right there. I'm still in some options, but I got stopped out of the stock, and we'll see. Amazon was a little stronger yesterday. Thank goodness we didn't get sucked in. If you were long, you had a few ways to get out when it broke yesterday's low and the day before's low, and I guess now we'll see what happens tomorrow. If it wants to pause and wants to continue, 129.34 is today's low. I didn't even touch it today. Again, there are days when you're allowed to just be out of the way of things and not try and be a hero. So we'll see what happens there. And here's that, and this is the 50-day. So most things that have been riding the 8-day for multiple months are below it. So now it stays below it. It could start a new trend to the downside. It could start in August, and August move lower. Or the rebalance is over tomorrow and things just go nuts, which I doubt on Monday. But we'll see. Until then, we'll figure it out. NVIDIA actually went green today. And then, now it's playing with the 8-day. Went as low as what? 450.68. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. AMD's been such a disaster. You know, another like this double top looks like this double top. It pushed above, couldn't hold it. Should have got you out of your shares. Got me out of some of my options today. I just stopped out of the rest, and now it's coming in to support where, you know, every time it tried to rally, got sold, and now it's below the AIM 21-day and the 50-day. That's not special. That means you don't sit in it. I don't care if you had a big move from here. You could have got back in right there when it took back all the moving averages. Here it lost the 8-day, tried. Now it could do whatever it wants all over again. You know, then we played Unity and Roblox as for catch up when the market was good. Market turned iffy, so you reduce risk and then you use a stop. So this traded below this high here, this low of 47.20, stopped me out of my shares. And now we'll see. Does it make another higher low? Low, higher low, higher low. So there's room to here if it wants it. I had $45 calls on for tomorrow. I sold them when they were $1 today to salvage it. I always like to salvage money. I don't like to throw away money. I don't care how much it is. And now we'll see what happens tomorrow. RBLX, that whole setup got negated. It should never have broken below here. And especially not below the 8-day and the 21-day. So hopefully you stopped yourself out around 42. I got out of the stock and options also. I got stopped out yesterday, actually. I was just, you know, I come out midday saying I think tech put a top in. I'm getting out of most of my stuff. I can't just force feed you guys. Anyway, here's the virtual trading floor if you didn't see it. You know, so I'm in like Pfizer, Bank of America still. Neo actually was pretty good. I think people think the China stimulus real announcement's happening soon, so I didn't get stopped out of that. Got rid of a lot of loose options. You know, I made a lot of money shorting premium. I was able to cover all this premium. I sorted this for like dollars and covered pennies on the dollar. Shorted this for $1.30. Covered this for 6 cents. So it's good stuff. That helped. You know, navigating helps. And now I'm still in a bunch of things, but a lot less risk, a lot less money at stake here because I don't want to give money back. I know I had a lot of things on coming into July like 6th when it looked like we were holding that gap, and I lost like 40 grand that day. You know, I didn't really see the signal, but yesterday I feel like, you know, we did a better job, and instead of losing 40 grand, yes, it would have been great to make 10, 20, 30 grand short today. I just lost 4 or 5,000. I'll take that and run because now I could just make her, you know, choose a little bit of what I want to do. Hey, CVP. You know. And anytime I'm short Qs and SPYs and short the Q overnight, you know I'm like, okay, things are odd. I'm just not the guy that could short 25 stocks. I can be long 25 stocks in a strong trend, but I just can't. I'd rather just be out of the way and figure it out. Anyway. So this is now a whole lot of nothing. But then, you know, Rivian is still, why am I in Rivian? Rivian, it could be a trap. You know, so the Red Dog, you're getting in a trap. Oh no, this is a nice looking bull flag. Still above the 8-day, closed well while everything closed weaker. You know, we bought it really well in here, made a lot of money. I don't know what's cooking here, but there was like a ton of $40 September calls bought. So stock still, if you look at it, you know, on the weekly, you know, you got like a bull flag here, and it seems like there's room to 40 bucks if something's cooking here, which I don't even know, but it's going sideways. And it, you know, I remember this thing was 120 or so. Coin, I got out. You know, we made a lot of money in coin, 3 or 4 different call spreads, and this is what coin looked like kind of as of yesterday and then today. Gave you a really loose, wide candle where I'm like, you know what? I don't need to be in the $130 calls. We made money in the $60 to $80 calls. We made money in the $82 calls. We made money in the $92 calls. So I sold a little bit yesterday, and then today I'm like, you know what? I'm out. It's still okay. It's still above the 8-day. It still has room, but, you know, I'm just like, I don't need to be there. Why? What's it doing now? It's down 9. Looks like a big, powerful red candle that just negated this bull flag. So to me, might as well just salvage some money. AI, I tried it this morning, didn't work. Still actually hanging in there, but we'll see how that goes. What did Bitcoin do today? Yeah, wow. Ooh, Bitcoin looks like it's about to take out this level, which should not be good for the active trader. So, I haven't revisited Mara or Riot. I know I sold early, but you know, take your trade and run. This is when we got into Mara right here. Some had it at 13. I think I got out somewhere in the 14s and 15s. Didn't catch this, but now this definitely looks vulnerable. Bitcoin breaks out 29. It could definitely trigger some stops. We'll see. And then, someone's like, why am I in Pfizer? It looked like it was going to fill this gap a little bit. Something to do. I was in it in the options down here. I bought a little stock. Boeing was decent today. Still choppy. I don't want to be in the stock because one day to the next it's not great. But, held the middle end of this channel, and there is some talk of a big China order coming. So if it does, I'd rather be in some options just in case. Plus, if money wants to stay in the Dow and the industrials, that's something to do. I'm just looking for some things to do that are calculated. That's really it. It's July 20th. Tomorrow we'll see how that rebalance goes. Maybe if they really crush things into the close, we'll sell some puts and buy a few things for next week just in case it was mechanical. I don't know. Maybe they did everything already. Maybe they sold everything and tomorrow everyone who wants to be short gets squeezed. That could happen too. So we'll see. But as of today, we lost a lot of 8 days. Some things are already testing the 21-day. Some things aren't even at their 8th day. So what does that tell me? It tells me to just, low gross, low net and figure it out and don't give money back that was hard to make, right? And then at some point when things are more visible and more conducive, we'll be in there like Flynn. But until then, summertime, guys. Get in the mountains, get in the beaches, go swimming, have some fitness, have some fun with your friends, your family, and we'll figure out how it goes because every market, sequence is different. At this point, the active bullish sequence to me is over. Now the question is, can the active bears take the ball and run with it for a few weeks, or will it just be a few days? And I'd rather be out of the way when we figure that out than in harm's way, sucking wind and going underwater and losing a lot of money. It's not a lot of fun. So cheers to you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you, and we'll see what happens. We'll see where we are in the morning. Could be a lot of good setups if we have a bit of a down open in the morning. If we're up, those who like to short might like to short the up open to go red. We'll see. So tactical. Let's be a little bit more tactical if you're active. Long term, monthly flows. At 401k every month, 403b every month, 529 every month. And my wife's blood in the street account is in still full cash, full rider, and that thing doesn't start getting put to work until we're 10% off a high, which, the SPYs aren't even at the 8th day, and tech is about 3% off the highs. Let's see if it could go more than 5 before we start talking about crashes. Anyway, again, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the morning.